So we're gonna restart that, and let's just make this hot mess express exactly what it is. So people that watch this in the future will jump in right here, but we'll do this again. But again, it might seem like, oh, well, an automatic wine opener, like maybe they already have one. Let them regift it. It's like, or maybe just ask them or thread that through the conversation. If you know, obviously that they drink wine or they love a lot of wine. Don't bring them the box wine. Yeah. It's not going to be around, right? The electric wine opener. There's always a new take on one of those.
Another one I did was I had a girl I went to college with. We went to South Carolina together, and her husband is a Clemson fan. So for their closing gift, I got him a Palmetto, because they're both from South Carolina. I got him a Palmetto flag. So whenever people, house divided.
Of course.
So whenever people come, I love the Palmetto flag. Our realtor got it.
Our realtor got it for us.
Yeah.
And that often will be the statement, right? Our realtor got it for us. Oh, that's fun. It's not about them going, oh my gosh, who is it? We can't wait to buy a house from him. It's not going to be that blatant. But that you mentioned, we'll kind of talk about some ideas and things, but I love the other one is the Roomba.
Yeah.
Like that was a little more spendy gift, but like what an incredible, what were people saying about you giving them a Roomba?
Use it every day.
Use it every day. Love it.
Yeah, I love mine.
There you go. And so that helps too, is I every year at my client party, I would do a Teddy's favorite things. So like, but I stumble upon things occasionally and I want to share them. And I think it's fun. Like, so those Truly popsicles that Costco had, I bought 28 boxes of those things because like after I tried them the first time, they were $14, right? For 12 of these. And for $14, what a fun and cool thing. And like, then you leverage it with social media. You do it as a porch drop-off gift or something to work. And, you just want to leverage the gift, I think, is in ways.
Totally. And if it's a product that you use all the time, hopefully they'll love it and then you can connect with them.
Yep.
I have another example is I give out sous vides. You know, are you in the sous vide cult?
The water, the cooking, I'm not in the club, but I know about it.
You might be getting a sous vide.
Okay, friend, tell me about it.
But I was at a client's house, I guess, I don't know, earlier this year, maybe a year ago. And all these guys were talking about cooking steaks with the sous vide. And I was like, the reverse sear, I'm not into that. And they said, pull out your phone and get one right now. And I was like, okay. So I got one and now I'm in the cult. And so I've been giving those. Oh yeah. They're $80. It's the best. It's like for steak and chicken and pork tenderloin. And that's a really great gift too. It's something that, and then when you gift it, they'll say, "What? I just got into the sous vide. I'm with you," and then we can talk about different techniques and relate to it.
There you go. There you go. I mean, everybody wants to try to find that thing, the thing that somebody won't buy for themselves, but they'll hopefully use. Well, I'm one of those holdouts on the Roomba. I don't have one. I just feel like it can't work that well. It looks ridiculous. Like, I don't know. I'm a hater on the Roomba, and yet like. Probably if somebody bought me one, I would use it and like be converted.
And then you'd be over here.
I'd be part of the club. So the sous vide, Maggie, I see mentioned, and I'd love, as we're going to, I'd love for anybody in the chat that's there to post some of your favorite or reminders of gifts so that we can share. We'll talk about some more ideas here, but the COVID Easter basket with the toilet paper, right? When there was a shortage, that was topical. So we created a big group buy for toilet paper. And that was huge. I was so excited that, and you know what I was doing with that, friends? I was helping a client that sells disposable goods to hotels. Actually sells everything. Sheets, toilet paper, toothpaste, coffee makers, coffee, all the stuff. And they were crushed when COVID hit. And so instead, we just leveraged the opportunity do a group buy of toilet paper from him. So it's people helping people. It was good stuff. I love that.
It's beautiful.
Other ideas for, and yes, I did not, hilarious. It was 2-ply, not prison paper for our clients. Yes, it was important to pick something that was of quality or consideration. Maria, you mentioned Home Depot. Come off mute and tell us what you're sharing there. Come on, Maria.
I'm sorry. Yes, every time you move somewhere, a new place, a new apartment, you need something from Home Depot or Lowe's. So $150 of gift card gives them a big smile, even for a grill. One of my buyers wanted to get it grilled, but the $150 completed what he wanted.
I love it. Yeah, and I think there's some mixed opinions on gift cards. I think that they serve a lot of great purpose, and you could even look at personalizing the gift card so your logo is on there. I have the home inspector I used to use that he'll buy branded gift cards. It costs $1 per gift card, and he buys Kroger and gas cards. And part of the way he does it is because he spends his own groceries and gas on those gift cards, and he can tax deduct all of it because they are in $25 increments, which is within the tax limit. And those become, because they have your logo on the gift card, it is a promotional item. Hopefully all heard that, because it's a real sweet workaround that I'm still in my list of things to do. But is buy gift cards, is the $1 extra worth it for the tax deduction? Talk to your accountant. But another way to leverage the gift card. So let's talk about some occasions to do that. We talked about home anniversaries. What do you do for those with?
Home anniversaries, I write a handwritten note and CMA, and I try and get a face-to-face. A lot of times you can gauge like if they want to get together, and you don't want to blast them. But
Yeah.
I had one recently, a couple of weeks ago, where I did use the gift card. I'm kind of depending on the situation about gift cards, but I had something with a client like 6 months ago. He said we should get together and catch up, and I said, how are you looking next week? Love to, go hit a happy hour, and he didn't respond. And so I thought, okay, well, I'll just send him a gift card and write him a nice note for his home anniversary. And I sent him $25 to Mitchell's Deli, and he wrote me an email and said, thank you so much. That was so nice. We should get together. How are you looking next week? And so I let him take the initiative, and then we went and got beers. And
He took you to Mitchell's and paid with your gift card.
no, he took someone else, which is
good.
Which is good. But I think, having their home anniversaries in your calendar and thinking like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen that person in a year. I need to find a way to catch up and get in front of them.
Yep.
And not being, and if they don't, if you reach out and they don't, reciprocate, then send them something.
Yep.
That just says, I'm here and I'm thinking about you.
Yep. I like it. Anybody else do anything different or special for home anniversaries? Nobody playing along? All right. Holidays, so I celebrate for clients. I typically try to do things more around Thanksgiving than Christmas or another holiday. I think it's just a great thing to leverage about gratitude and giving thanks, right? And reminding people how important it is. And so I try to leverage the Thanksgiving holiday as my chance to acknowledge my people. I was one of the early agents, probably 15 to 18 years ago, that started delivering pumpkin pies. Costco will not put the sticker on the pie if you call ahead. I've delivered up to 85 pies a year by hand to my clients. I find that the week of Thanksgiving is a really great week to connect with people because it's always it's always on a Thursday. The 3 days leading up to it are F-off days, so people are often at home and are open to you coming by. And so it's a great way to coordinate where your clients are that time of year. The pies are $5.99. They're huge. I've compared them against local bakers, and they crush it every time. They're just better. I'm sorry, they are. And I tell people, and then I also call Ace's Kettle Corn, and he pops me bags of kettle corn, and I have stickers that I created with my logo on it, and that's my Thanksgiving delivery to their home. I take a Sharpie and I write on the cellophane that the pumpkin pie is on. I put a sticker on there with a note card, and I also write my sticker on my kettle corn and a bag of kettle corn. My guy brings them to me in this big trash bag, all individually packaged, and those are like $7 to $8 a piece. The pie is $5.99, and that makes a huge splash for the week of Thanksgiving, and it's shareable.
Amazing. Do you do that on Monday?
I do that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the week of Thanksgiving.
Oh,
so what's that? I do. No, I call them. And if they're not home, like I typically won't leave the food on the porch, right? So I try to coordinate a time they're home. But even this was before COVID. I mean, people were still home that week. It typically was always accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got hairy. When it got to be too many people, then I would just give them, they would pick them up at my client party, which was the Thursday before Thanksgiving. So they could pick up their pie and or I have colleagues, I mean, most people have stole this idea, and not stole, but I've wanted to use it. So like Jesse's team, they have it at the office. And so they know to come by and pick it up at the office. They have those, that the week of Thanksgiving, they can come pick up, and they even give them some choices. Like I think there's pumpkin and pecan or whatever. So Ace's Kettle Corn, ACE. Yeah, Ace's Kettle Corn. He's fantastic. He's out of Cool Springs. He'll deliver it to you. And it's amazing. It's got his branding on the bag, but I throw my sticker on there too, so they know, and they've come to expect it. So I've got to get my kettle corn order over to Ace.
Meeting expectations too every year that's a challenge. Like if you did,
oh yeah,
if you gave someone a really nice gift last year for sending you a referral, what are you going to get them this year? It's like you set a high bar, and
Yep. Well, and I think that it's you were talking about trying to stand out or giving something that gets more and more. So think about, have a gifting program or a plan. That's where it becomes less overwhelming. So I would start, it would stress me out having to figure out and create a personalized closing gift for every closing. And so I came up with some stickers and that I could add for it. So I have I have branded T-shirts. I have my boot koozies, my boozies, and my Heideke rock that's all branded. And I have that in a bag ready to go with orange tissue paper. So, and I bought white bags and I put my same stickers on the bag. And so that's my start there, right? That's my swag. And then I have other stuff that I pair with that's more personalized to them, so that it doesn't feel overwhelming every time. I would have a bevy of new construction baskets. So they're buying new construction. There's a company in town, the Sunshine Shop, will make you the new construction basket. They take a step stool upside down, that becomes the basket. They put all the stuff, including toilet paper and things you'd need on move day, forks, knives, plates, cleaning products, paper towels, just like that move day special stuff, and all in cellophane, with your ribbon color of choice. I think that thing's like 80 or $100. And that's handy on move-in day. I like either hand delivering pizza on move day or things like that. I think move day is an important day for you to possibly make an appearance or show up.
You know what else a great move is to buy a bottle of champagne and put it in the fridge.
Yep.
On move day.
Or their favorite, if you know what their favorite beer or beverages are, even if it's non-alcoholic, to have the fridge stocked, that's a choice move.
Yeah.
Now, what would you do? You put your note card in the fridge, right? Put your note card in the fridge with the stuff.
Yeah.
So, or
they know it's from you.
Look in the fridge. I've got a treat for you in there, right? And then in the freezer, put the Truly Pops. They'll love those. So just things like that. I think that that it's related around, and it's a day, and it's a stressful day of a time to share that with. So client events. So of course we've talked a little bit about that. And I think some people get overwhelmed about client events, but it's another opportunity and way to give. And I've seen everything people do, 4 times a year or once a year, do the big one, but consider doing a client event. I know COVID's changed some things, but there's still some online ways to create gifting and experience around that. I've done everything. I did one at the office here. We moved all the furniture in the front, and I did a casino night. And I have a company that will bring all the dealers, the booze, and they'll even set up a whole silent auction. It's all turnkey. That's Elite Events, ELITE, Elite Events. And they'll do the whole thing for you. It was super fun. Make sure you invite your vendor partners. So invite your inspector and your lender and your financial advisor and all the people that are connectors and networkers. Don't make it just for your clients. Invite them and their families too. They're a big part. Don't forget to gift your title company, your processors, your underwriters, the front Gabriel at the front desk of Rudy Title. Like, these people are the ones getting it done. Rachel here at Village and all the support team here. Susan, who cuts your checks, bring her kettle corner pie. Watch yourself start to get leverage when you start helping and supporting the people that are supporting you. So don't forget those folks.
And it's a way to bring more people. If you involve
your
people, they'll bring theirs.
I just talked to I have a house that I just looked at, one on Beacon, that we got an offer on, and the buyer is a woman, the agent met the buyer from a Top Golf event. She spent $3 grand on. She told her clients to bring friends, and she met these people at the Top Golf event, and they're buying she's been in the business 13 months. And this is a $2.1 million sale for her. You're welcome. She's really pretty elated about her Top Golf event. And she was like, it was turnkey and easy. It was $3 grand. It's expensive, but you can see that $3 grand's paid off. She's done several deals from that. So
$3 at Top Golf.
$3 grand at Top Golf. Maria mentioned this was time consuming work, and I had a relocating client who collects records. So I got gift cards at different record stores and a map so they could do a vinyl crawl. That's fun. That's super fun, right? And you could probably leverage that to other people. And then after you give the gift, then put it on social media as something fun that you did. You don't have to mention the person, but it's like just explaining like, hey, somebody else might be interested in the vinyl crawl. The point is that just you doing things is great, but also leveraging of how you could tie it into some of your social media of just the fun of doing it. Like even in your acts of being out or finding these places, picking up my kettle corn, look
It's
for
content.
this, right?
Content, baby.
It's content. It's content. You mentioned other client events, the backyard concert. I know you've done that. Tell us about that.
That was big. I'm trying to come up with creative ways to get people to come to your event. And I had it was April of last year. We've done two, but April of last year when things were still kind of funky and shut down. But I finished playing and it was at Becky's house. So I sold her the house, and it was, most of the clients, and I had a friend come up to me. It was like, Whit, how many people have you sold houses to here? And I pulled them in. I go, so fine, yeah. And so they're all talking and hanging out and connecting, and it's really cool that it was.
Well, it's cool too. Let's say they moved to the neighborhood, right? They just moved here and they're moving to East Nashville.
Totally.
You use their house as the party spot, and you're going to supply all the food and drink. So doesn't have to be over the top. Make it do barbecue, and you're going to play a couple of songs, and you're like, hey, could I invite some friends over? We'll just do the backyard. They might be down for it because they want to meet people too. Just think of ways in which you can leverage your passion skills and theirs, and maybe like cross promote and
totally. And like the intention, it was just kind of a plus. It was just a bonus that it happened to be all clients, but it was all my friends and neighbors, and a great way to meet neighbors too.
Well, and I think what happens is it's easy to get overwhelmed, and what this begs for is assistance. You've got to have people helping you do the stuff that drags your mental space from selling, connecting, promoting, from doing transactional based things. Because I know if I'm in the weeds with dealing with trying to schedule inspectors and appraisers, I don't have as much mind space to think about my clients' life events and ways that we can do cool and fun things. And really, that's my job. I'm like the director of fun and strategy, and like the transactional stuff I need to put with people that's where they thrive and do. Because otherwise, when I'm trying to do all the things, then the gifting stuff, I always feel like I'm behind. Right. And I feel stressed about, and I'm like, I'm just whipping it together. And it's like, that's the stuff that I need that's going to build my business and keep it growing and sustaining.
And they always say like the most successful people are, they do what they love and it doesn't feel like work. And if you kind of turn this part of your brain on to where you're just thinking in this mindset that it doesn't feel like work. It's like, how can I get in front of people? And it's fun. It's like,
well, and that's why I like having a base plan. So come up with a gifting plan that works for you. So here's the things that I knew for myself that I wanted to make sure I was gifting people for. Referrals. So, every time it was challenging to think about it. So we did Thanks a Latte, right? We had a $5, $10 gift card for Starbucks, because just for a name, that wasn't for a closing. Now, once they closed, we would send either a car detailing or a massage gift card, or 2 hours with my interior designer or home organizer. Closing gifts, I got to a place where I started doing a menu. I gave people a week before closing, I would send them a menu, and they could have 2 hours with my home automation person, 2 hours with these were choices, my handyman, 2 hours with my home organizer. What else? I think there was like 4 or 5 things on there, and they loved it. What was I doing? One, they were free, because my vendors wanted to get in front of these people, so they were willing to give that 2 hours Now I still paid them. I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm going to pay you at least for an hour of your time. So they're going to give an hour. I'm paying for an hour. They're getting in front of a new client, and my client's getting a problem solved. Everybody's winning. It was awesome, right? So the menu, the closing menu was kind of the closing gift menu of choices was fun. But happy hours. Tell me about how your happy hour grew your
I need to
business.
get back into it, but that was big for a couple of years with COVID. It's and now that it's fall, but just every month in my newsletter, I would say I would send it out the third Thursday of the month, and then I'd send it out the third Friday of the month, and then the following Thursday. I like Thursdays.
I do too.
Big Thursday guy.
I'm a big Thursday.
Favorite day of the week.
I agree.
It's anything can happen. So I would just send it out in my newsletter and say, I'm going to be at Ember Ski Lodge, which had 2-for-1 happy hours, which is like one of the few places anymore.
Few places left for 2-for-1s,
Yeah.
right?
And I would just say, hey, I'm going to be there from 4 to 6, post it up at the bar, whoever wants to come. And then Wednesday before, I would send a daily reminder, don't forget, happy hour tomorrow. And I would just go in at 4. And every week, especially at first, I was always nervous that, nobody's going to come. I'm going to look like a idiot.
And it doesn't matter. Like the point
Someone always
is in the
came.
invitation. And well, somebody came,
Yeah, somebody always came.
even though there was weeks or two, there was just 1 or 2 people.
Oh, 1 or 2 people was almost better, but there were times where, like someone would come at 4 and at 5, they'd say, all right, I got to leave. And then I would, be hanging, and then somebody else would come in.
Yeah. And the point is more so it's about the invitation. It's not about whether they attend.
For sure.
It's
content.
It's content, but it's like people want to be thought of. It means as much to it than even going to the event.
Yeah.
Right. Whether they take you up on it or not.
I sold one of the bartenders a house too.
There you go. So pick your bar accordingly. I have to be it's about consistency.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, referrals, we did that, closing gifts, home anniversaries, always a handwritten note, and then the annual client party. So in the business planning workshop, we do a marketing calendar. As a part of that, you want to incorporate and budget for gifting. So we talked about creating a gifting plan, have a budget. So if you know how many closings you want to do and you did 1% of your commission for that, that's what you should budget for closing gifts. Then you might want to put another 1% of your gross sales for gifting, because I'm going to tell you, it comes back tenfold. It just really does. So having that, consider charities and auctions. I love a live auction. Why? Because I can buy stuff that I want to gift people, and it's a full tax deduction. So don't miss the opportunity to take advantage of charities and live auctions. Potentially ask in your All About You form, or when you get to know your clients, who is their charity of choice? What are you passionate about supporting? If somebody gave you $100,000 you had to give away in a week, what would you do with it? This is the interesting stuff people should be talking about more so than are the Titans going to make the spread? And people want to, but most people aren't bringing it up, right? Except the book that they're reading in their head or talking to their spouse maybe about it. And so reading books, I think, is important too. The gift of just telling people, what are you watching or what are you reading? Like I've read this book recently called Die with Zero. I am so emphatic. I had a buddy said, don't call me ever again until you read that book. It's imperative to our friendship. That means something if somebody says that to you. And I did. I'm going to encourage every one of you watching this to read the book Die with Zero. And I didn't give it much credit because I'm like, okay, I can get the concept, I see. But it gets into the numerical calculations of what you should be working backwards of planning when you're going to die. There's calculators for that, and doing it now. And I had a full conversation with a California relo yesterday that bought an RV and owns rental property, and they want to hire me. They've been here twice and had experiences with realtors. And they're like, we want to hire you because you want to get an RV and retire, or you want to travel the country. And we're doing that right now. And all I can tell you, we're turning 60. Do it now, Ted. Do not wait any longer. Buy that thing in the next year and make it happen, because people wait too long to spend the money on the things that they can no longer physically do. If you love skiing, start skiing. Don't wait till you can't do it, because when you think you'll have the money, there's ways to work it in now. So charities, auctions, tax write-offs, closing gift idea. I'm going to just run through some of these. I know you've done Sonos speakers and Yetis and Roombas, electric wine openers, the fire pits, sports memorabilia. That's something you can often get at charity auctions. art. Some people make things of their homes. I love the coasters. You can do these paper coasters, which are fun or disposable, but you get a stack of them. Give them a couple hundred of them with a fun saying on it. I gave it to my stepdad for Christmas last year. It was kind of fun. Things for their pets, the air tags that I talked about earlier in the sales meeting. Those are affordable. Give them a couple air tags. They're likely not going to even know about them or buy them for themselves. And they're like, oh my God, this is cool. Throw it in your luggage. You will not lose your luggage, or you'll at least know where it is. Welcome to Nashville baskets. There's plenty of local sourced stuff that you can get where there's companies that will do that for you. Mentioned charity auctions, the new construction baskets. Gosh, there is just so much stuff. Any other ideas or people that are tuned in here today of closing gift or other gift ideas? I know, Maria, you mentioned the cheese pizzas on move day or packing goes a long way. Get them that Yeti cooler, but bring it to the move day and have it stocked. That's a more fun way to make the gift applicable, right? Anybody else?
Ted, I would
Yeah,
say one thing that I think of is your time. And you give
Yes.
your time, you can give your time to have coffee, but because of my construction background, my clients are used to calling me and saying, I'm having this trouble. My furnace isn't working. It's Saturday. And I'll say, let me come over. I'll take a look at it. And they appreciate that you'll stop what you're doing and go help them with something.
That's pretty awesome. And you have that skill and talent and others may not, but letting them know in ways that you can help them. So most importantly is like that you have go-to people on how to solve problems, and that you tell them about that when they close or after close. Like, I want you to know anything home related, you call me. Because I want to be in their favorites in their phone. If they don't know how to create favorites in their phone, create the favorite in their phone. Like, go and show them how you can have favorites of people you call all the time. And so I just want them to call me for anything. You need a termite, you need an inspector, you need a roof guy, you need this, you need that, whatever you need, I want to be your call so that it gives me a chance to connect with them and provide part of my value. Great point, Fred. Let's see. Emily said, I have people happy with a Nest or smart door lock. Love that. I think that's a fun, price appropriate home related gift. They use their home lock quite often. People are getting into the thermostats a lot, Nest thermostats. But more importantly than getting them the thermostat is what? Getting it installed. So find somebody you could partner with that's just going to do installations of your closing of your thermostat, and have it replaced by the time they move in on move day. Just like put a note on top and say, it's getting hot in here. Whatever, I don't know. I'm not an ordained minister. Are you going to sing for us, Sammy? All right. And then looking at deals, like, Whit had a deal on the Sonos speaker. So try to leverage when these people provide these deals, or you see something cool on sale.
Coupon.
The coupons, the YOLOs. I mean, we've got some of that gifting built into Village. But, mums in the fall, the pumpkin drops, flower seeds in the spring. You could look at doing things for certain holidays. We did earplugs for Father's Day one year with a funny joke in there, and all the things, right?
I'm gonna get on this pumpkin pie train.
The pumpkin pie train, I'll tell you,
That's
friends,
gold.
it just delivers. I wish, there's a lot of people that do it, but
Genius.
it's my clients yesterday say that they have some of the pumpkin pie from 2 years ago in their freezer. They wonder if it's still good. I swear to what? It's the best pie. I mean, it's just, unfortunately, I know if you want to, I certainly, buy local, stay local, all that. But when it comes to that pumpkin pie, the Costco pie still crushes it. And those employ local people and provide to our local economy. So there's still some local component to it. But just be mindful of things that are strictly consumable or disposable that you're not making. So I know my pumpkin pie and kettle corn, but why do I do those versus just something that's like a gift card? Because it's being shared. The kettle corn gets passed around with family that week, and it's a shareable, and it has some more than just a one sitting type situation. So I don't love strictly consumables as a gift by itself. I don't just love a bottle of wine. I just don't. And if anything, you're going to give a bottle of wine, get a metallic pen and sign it on the outside, or put something memorable so that they may save it, right? As far as like, welcome to closing, put the date and the year or something on that so that it becomes more personalized. I will tell you, I carry metallic pens and Sharpies in my bag in my car just as a go-to. I carry note cards and envelopes in my bag all the time.
Always ready.
Always ready. Always ready. You never know when those situations strike. And I think that's the most fun, is when you just gotta like unexpected, like, oh my gosh. And use your phone, use Siri, like just Siri, create a reminder to send a gift to blank. And it will put it in there, and at least it's somewhere where it's getting it out of your brain and onto something that will give you a reminder. So some books. Tell us about some of the books that you like on gifting with.
Right. I just wrote Die with Zero.
Die with Zero.
I don't know if that's
Yep.
gifting or not, but
Well, it is. It's about, it
Sounds
is, because
awesome.
they're like, don't wait to give this money. Everybody doesn't want to give the money until they die because they're afraid they're not going to have enough. What if my health care, they're like, look, if you have a major health problem, 100 to 200 grand ain't going to make a difference. So if you're holding on to your inheritance thinking, I don't know if I'm going to have enough, the truth is you probably just aren't. So unless you have extended care or you're going to rely on the Medicare system, if you have money you're planning to give away or to give to your kids or grandkids or charity, give it now so you can watch and appreciate and be a part of what they do with it. Because that's part of the enjoyment of the gift, is seeing what they do with it. The book begs to the point that it's really not that generous to give your money away when you're dead, because you have no choice but to do that. The generosity is having faith that you will have enough and give it away now, or at least some of it.
totally. It all evens out.
It does. It all.
It's crazy.
It all comes back. But
obviously-
so Die with Zero. Yeah.
Obviously, we've been referencing giftology.
Yep.
I mean, that's like you could read that in a couple of days. It's so easy.
Yep.
And you really, I don't know, basically this whole presentation is based off of this book. And then of course the Go-Giver. I read the Go-Giver after I've done Ninja, and I've read the Ninja book, and the whole Ninja system is based on this, little story. And it takes place throughout like one week, and every day it's like a different lesson, and it's such a fast read, and it really just is like the foundation of the Ninja system and how we should conduct business, and
Yep.
the whole mentality. And then this is the next on my list, along with Die with Zero, but Never Lose a Customer Again. I was just kind of plugging these books in to see what it suggested, and this has really great reviews. But turn any sale into lifelong loyalty in 100 days. And like Zach and Hunter always say at the meetings, you should always be reading one of these books, even if you're just reading it for 10 pages or 10 minutes a day.
Yep.
Just to have this,
Absolutely.
inspiration.
Yeah, and I love the Go-Giver is a great book. There's so many books on this. We've touched on a lot of this today. I think what's important is don't be overwhelmed with it, and don't let the money get in the way, because you can do it all practically free. I mean, really, like practically free. I know some people are challenged starting out with their business and wondering, like, God, I'm broke. I mean, where do I give these gifts? But there's so many ways to do it.
Handwritten notes. I was writing handwritten notes for 3 years. Just
He
thank you.
was written
Thank
handwriting
you
notes.
so much for,
Yeah.
it was great seeing you. I can't afford to give you anything, so I'm just going to give you
And
this
I'm going to tell
really
you, the guy's
sentimental
got some of
note.
the worst penmanship, probably worse than mine.
Ah,
All right, that's a stretch.
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad, but mine's
Mine's
really bad.
horrible.
Yeah,
Mine's
yeah.
The
Well,
doctor's handwriting.
the point is, he was writing them. And I would look at the envelopes on his desk every day and see it going out and going out. I'm just like, he's doing it.
2 a
It
day.
is what wit is he's disciplined and consistent. And like, that has been the key to your success. It has been remarkable to watch your business grow, from us working together to you being on your own, and what you committed to of the happy hour, especially. Like, you didn't even have to buy the drinks, just that I was going to be there, and it was 2 for 1. And you were even worried, like, how was I going to, too many people show, how am I going to pay for it?
Yeah.
So at the beginning, you invited a vendor partner.
And most of the time, they would pay for it.
That's right.
I'd say, you want to get it? All right.
All right. And
Couldn't get it.
and they're used to it. Like, they're likely more seasoned in the business. They have an expense account, and they can pay for those drinks. Mortgage lenders, title attorneys, financial planners, financial advisors. all those things.
Well, this has just been so amazing, and all the knowledge that we just pulled from your mind and your experience.
Yeah,
Will get us plenty to go off of and trying to think about and how we can close out the year with a bang.
absolutely. Well, I see on here on Zoom, I apologize for all the tech issues today, friends. I'm not used to doing this as much here in office, and but I'm glad to be here. I put a link to the document that we've used, The Art of Gifting. It's in the agent toolkit, kind of with the highlights of the points we covered here today. I've also copied and pasted the books there: Giftology, The Go-Giver, Never Lose a Customer Again, and Die with Zero. And any parting thoughts from anybody here in the Village or online before we wrap up today? Kind of rapid fire. It's been good. You know, just take one or two things and put it in your toolbox. Like, that's it. Just like if anything was like, I'm going to create a gifting program. Don't be overwhelmed with it. You got to do all these things. What are you going to do? I'm going to do 2 handwritten notes every day. Or I'm going to do, a lot of agents will say, like, I'm going to do 10 a week. And under the 10 is $100 bill. And at and if you don't finish to get to that $100 bill, you've got to give that to the charity of your least desire. For some people, it might be their opposing political campaign. It might be to the NRA. It might be to, I mean, everybody has somebody that's, I mean, some of the best coaches in the world will tell you, and I can tell you, one of the realtors in town, he wrote 3 $10,000 checks to his biggest competitor and nemesis in the business. And if he didn't make his calls for the month or for the week, they had to get, or the month, $10,000 check. And his coach held the check, and he had to be accountable to those calls. Now that's pain point, and there's businesses with a point where that could work. But if $100 stings, put something that's going to help motivate you to get started so it becomes a habit.
Yep.
Right?
Yourself.
So for some people, it's like I get a reward for it, but maybe there's the reward is you're going to get the $100 to do something to enjoy for yourself if you do those 10 note cards a week. Otherwise, you have to, for some people, it might just, you have to rip it in half and throw it out the window. I've seen people do it, and they've only done it once, but it works. So try to make a game of it and have fun. Create an accountability partner with it that you can chat and be consistent about it, be it your mentor or just another agent that you know, like you're seeing in a meeting or something. And it's like, look, I want to do this too. Can we brainstorm about this? Maybe you do a client party together, right? Get sponsors and people involved to help support the things that you're trying to do, because you don't have to do it alone. In fact, it's a lot more fun to do it with people and helping people that can help their business too. So, all right, y'all. Thanks so much. Okay, hey, thank you, Whit. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Yep.